Portions of the following program may have been pre-recorded.
Wow, that sounds like a good energy drink.
It's not.
Shall we raise to the occasion?
It's amp.
No, you're drinking. Stop.
That was Arnold's. Can't pilot something that didn't blow up, right? Welcome back to Off Air. So don't. I had no part in 9/11. I would like to just right off rip. I was just a little baby. I was.
Yeah, but what were you doing?
Now Jake, on the other hand,
Ooh, that is true.
Wow.
he was alive and he was
Functioning.
I was.
In fact, he told me that he was in
New York, yeah.
No, I was in Mrs. Cummings' class at Seville Elementary.
Mrs. What?
Yeah. Okay.
Cummings.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Real
Then-
solid alibi.
Hold on.
jackass.
So that was my homeroom teacher.
I
My
was in
social
Miss
studies
Spermy
teacher
Jizzalot's class.
was Mrs. Moorhead. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, what school did you go to? Jake Sex Ed?
no,
Yeah.
it was Seville Elementary.
Yeah. And then Principal Blowjob came out and said, right?
No.
When that.
Yeah, 9/11 was a national tragedy.
How could you laugh at that? I was
So I-
walking. I was trying to find my brother. Walking through blood and guts and bone. Turned out he was in northern Canada.
God, I can't believe I killed Norm MacDonald.
But
Yeah, I really wish you wouldn't sometimes, because like ever since his spirit took over Jake's body,
yeah.
it doesn't hit the same. It really don't.
Well,
9/11 was
like,
a national tragedy.
it's like my own piece of Mike Tyson mysteries, you know?
The ear specifically.
Yes. Well, yes. I had to contact Evander for that.
I just want to say, I know two people who have bitten or have a piece of an ear missing right off the top of my head that are pretty good people. And Mike Tyson has bit an ear, and Mick Foley doesn't have an ear. And I just want
It's
to say,
not where I thought you were going with that, if I'm
Nope.
being honest.
I know it wasn't, so I went with the right turn. Well, the left maybe. So it was really good though, because have you ever seen? This is why I bring it up, just because I wanted to talk to you about it. Have you seen the pictures of Mick Foley's ear like now?
Yeah.
Have you?
Yeah, they didn't they have to do like skin grafting surgery or something like that?
No, it looks like a Winnie the Pooh ear. Like this side of his ear, it's just like this little cup that just kind of like moves out,
That's
and then
funny.
the other one's normal.
I'm just saying, like, Adolf Hitler. Kinda,
Wow, man, we're
Listen,
just.
I'm going somewhere with this.
Whoa, okay.
Adolf Hitler kind of ruined the name Adolf, right? Like, it's not a name you hear anymore.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you ever heard anyone named Evander? Guy got his ear bitten off, and everyone's like, I can't.
We're not
jinxing this one.
No way.
Wow.
Our son is keeping both of his ears.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, they're kind of on the same level in that regard.
Wait, let me do the intro. Hey everybody, welcome to Off Air. I'm your host, Shane E. I am co-hosted by Jake
Hello.
and Style,
Not Evander Holyfield.
not Evander Holyfield.
But he could be.
The only thing that I really have on the agenda, on the docket for today, is we are Style. We're
No,
going-
I'm Style.
well,
Not
you are
collectively.
He's
You
not
are
Evander
Style.
Holyfield, but he could be.
your Style.
Yeah.
I am Evander.
No.
Oh,
Yep. Uh-huh.
I'm
Uh-huh.
You got it.
You got it.
You're good.
Norm.
No.
Come on, that was good though, right? I did good with it. So,
Good thing we're not live. The dead air would have been deafening.
we're gonna talk about SummerSlam today. At least right now. Right now, we're gonna talk about SummerSlam. So this episode's gonna be SummerSlam centric, baby. Call it the SSS.
Hey, that'll actually come out the correct time.
All right, so
Yes.
I actually have to look this up to know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, the booking. I don't think all of the booking is. I don't think all the booking is confirmed. Is it?
I feel like a good chunk of it.
How long is SummerSlam?
Probably like 3 hours.
No.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Wait, are we
Longer?
including? I think it's longer. I think with pre-show it'll be about 5. No.
Doors open, I believe, at 6:30.
What date is it?
It is August 3rd.
Okay, so I don't think I'll be in town.
Yeah.
So that because when we were talking about the tickets and stuff, my gut was like, I don't think I'm going to be in town. All I want and I will cash app someone. I just want a SummerSlam Cleveland shirt just because that's cool.
That would be cool, actually.
Let's all get them and wear them in
And
front of Jake.
not get one
Yeah.
for him.
We'll get him like a fucking Logan Paul shirt.
I'd be cool with that because I mean it's kind of a Cleveland shirt.
We'll get him like a fucking Shotzi Blackheart
Oh,
shirt.
stop. That's
Dude, I was gonna get you a Nia Jax shirt.
Ooh, yeah, he'd wear that.
Yeah.
I'm not like most girls.
See?
I'm a really big one who gets injured all the time and hurt other people.
This is my first wrestling event ever. This
That's
is
kinda
first
crazy.
ever
Damn.
first ever wrestling thing that I've ever gone to. And I've been a fan like long time.
That's if there's a show to go to, that's pretty cool.
Well, I'm super stoked specifically because this past WrestleMania, I'm fairly confident was the first WrestleMania I ever watched. And this past Mania leads into this SummerSlam
Did you
very
watch
well.
Mania?
God, I apologize. You watched it with us. Oy.
I was with
God.
I came late both nights, but
I was with you.
I was
Well, I didn't
right
ask
there.
about that. I asked if you watched WrestleMania.
Barely.
You sound like fucking Jake's third grade teacher over here, fucking
Coming.
coming.
First of all, it was 4th grade. In 3rd grade, I had Mrs. Regner, who was a
Before
wonderful
that?
woman. Before that, I had
He
Mrs.
had
Mitchell.
Vagina Mouth.
No, Mrs. Mitchell was 2nd grade, and 1st grade was Mrs. Browning.
Poop.
This episode goes out to
And-
Mrs. Browning.
And in kindergarten, her name was Miss Phillips, but later in the year, she married our gym teacher, Mr. Mental. So we had a Mr. and Mrs. Mental.
You
I wish I was making it
you're
up.
making
Boy,
it
you
up.
bloody mental.
Oh, what you gonna do about it?
That's kind of wild. Your first event is going to be SummerSlam.
That's pretty cool, man.
I'm very excited for seeing Cody Rhodes. I think that'll just be cool to see a champion wrestle in like a actual title match. You know, obviously I don't think he's gonna lose. I don't think he's gonna drop the belt still.
It's
But-
such a cool story to be like, yeah, my first wrestling show was SummerSlam. I hope just because of that, you're like walking through a flea market and there's a wrestling event, and you're like, no!
How did I happen across this? No, an impromptu wrestling match. No,
You guys are walking through a Walmart and it's one of those like Subway wrestling things.
Yeah.
And Jordan just covers your eyes. Don't look at it. Don't look. Don't
keep,
look.
keep walking. Keep walking. No, but yeah, I'm really excited, and
That's
also I am a big fan of LA Knight, so that'll be cool. I just kind of jumped on the hype train when he started getting popular. And I like him, and I think it'll be cool to watch Logan drop the belt to him.
I was at the Raw in Cleveland when he was SmackDown guy and he came out, and like that, the crowd pop that pop for LA Knight is crazy.
Yeah, I'm very excited for that pop.
I was trying to think of the last show I went to, and I think it was Raw with you. Jake.
When we were yelling at the production people.
Yeah, no, so like I was definitely on air that Monday. We were doing the Rebel Radio show,
Uh-huh.
and I think you texted me that Monday, like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm doing a show in like 20 minutes." And then you're like, well, "Can you get to Cleveland after?" I'm like, "Yeah." And we went to Raw because you had tickets.
I picked you up. No,
No, I met you there.
I mean,
was it the AEW one we drove together? We've actually, I think I've gone to more wrestling shows with you than anybody else.
Have you ever seen MJF?
Yes.
It's pretty
Yeah.
cool. You guys saw The Rock do a concert? That's pretty fucking
Yeah.
sick. Well, you saw The Rock do a concert?
I didn't see it live.
I
but
saw the Rock concert rap battle with Cena. Yeah, that's what I like to think about is like all the people I've seen going to
Yeah,
shows.
that seems like what would stand out to me the most. Is like, I've seen him, and I've seen him, and I've seen him.
I went to a show with Ethan. It was a Raw show. My brother Ethan. Like, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 years ago now. It was just a random Raw show at the Q we went to because tickets were cheap, and we sat directly across from the entrance ramp, so we got to see everyone walk down.
That's cool.
And it just so like we didn't read the card or anything beforehand. It just so happened that Jerry Lawler was there doing a King's Court. His guest was Ric Flair. Edge was on the show.
Love that.
Cena was on the show, and then the main event was a untelevised rematch. It was a Hell in a Cell, The Fiend and Seth Rollins. So I'm
That's
like, that was
pretty
actually
sick.
a cool show to see all those fucking names we didn't expect to see.
The first one I went to, it was Raw, and it's when they kicked off the Ruthless Aggression era.
Really?
So it's when Vince had all of them surrounding the ring, and he's like, "Who's gonna grab the brass rings?" You know, he's doing all that. So I texted you the other day. I said I found my old wrestling signs.
Yeah.
Full circle here. Okay. So we won them from MMS, from the night DJ.
Mm.
And one of the signs it says thank you 100.7 WMMS. So I start thinking about it, and I'm like, I wonder if it was Seth who was the night DJ. Seth Williams of
Mhm.
the Seth Williams Show. And so I call him and I'm like, hey, were you working like nights at MMS? And he's like, yeah, no, I was like, 5-6 days a week. So yeah, that would have been me. So my dad won tickets from somebody who I would have known years later. It's just weird how like
Yeah,
full
that is
circle kind
wild.
of shit. But I have him. It's a Triple H sign. It's a Kane sign. And then finally The Rock has come back to Cleveland sign. And then the thank you.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
WMMS.
Yeah, do you think there'll be any like other than Roman potentially?
I
Do you-
think that's a given. I think Roman at the end of the show.
Do you think there'll be any other surprises?
It's Cleveland. I feel like they'll do something with Cleveland, but I'm not sure.
So like
who.
Miz or
I think you'll see MGK.
Oh, probably.
You'll
I
see
really,
MGK.
Like,
Yeah, but
don't like-
MGK gets slammed through tables.
I-
I saw that live.
I'm okay with that.
I
guess.
think. Well, this will be out by the time that
Mhm.
people are listening. But I think between now recording date, what's today, the 22nd. I think between the 22nd and the 3rd, it's gonna just get randomly announced. The Miz is gonna host it,
Mm.
And I think that's probably where we'll get like celebrity
Yeah.
interaction. Is
That
Miz
would be
backstage
cool
with
if
someone.
there were any like big name, just random
Do
celebrities.
they bring
not
out
even
Hall of
wrestlers.
Famer Drew Carey?
Well, I saw it advertised today that the Undertaker is doing like a backstage thing there.
I saw that too.
Really?
Yeah, you can like win a chance to be backstage with Undertaker.
That's
Dude,
pretty
the
gangster.
one-man show that he does is really fucking good.
What is the one man show
So,
that he does?
the
Is it
Undertak-
just a pod? What the
No,
fuck?
it's literally just Undertaker up on stage. He tells a few of his favorite stories,
Uh-huh.
and then people submit questions.
and then it's
before.
just a big Q&A.
Yeah, it's really good.
I
but
bet that's sick.
you can't have your phone.
Yeah,
no
I believe
pictures,
that.
no nothing like that.
I believe
I
that.
was at where'd I go? I think it was the Agora. And no, it was really good. Like he's genuinely like funny.
Well, his Dead Man pod, is that what it's called? Dead Man podcast or 6 Feet Under?
Something like
I think
that.
it's 6 feet
Yeah,
under.
I've seen clips.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I've watched not full episodes, but I've definitely seen good parts of
Yeah,
more than one episode.
Well, it was weird because
good.
it's weird to see human Undertaker.
right.
Yes.
So the one man show we went to, somebody asked him about CM Punk's. This is before he came back to WWE and he had the stuff with AEW. And it was funny because, like he talks about Triple H and it's not Paul, it's, Triple H or Hunter. And he
Yeah.
talks about, Stone Cold, it's not Steve, it's Stone Cold.
Yeah.
And whenever he talked about CM Punk, it was Phil. We were like, ooh, that's,
Not a fan.
ooh.
Not a
Yeah,
fan.
right? I'm like, ooh, that's rough. Hopefully.
Off the wall guest appearance prediction for SummerSlam. Joe Hendry.
I would love that.
It'll be like maybe something stupid backstage or like a crowd chant or something. And he'll just pop out.
See, he's in NXT right now, though, right?
He is in TNA, but with the working relationship, he's been
Right.
appearing on
Oh.
NXT.
That's so strange to me. You just explained that to me
Yeah.
before we got on this, that TNA and is it just TNA
Yes.
and NXT or is
Yeah.
it TNA and
Well,
WWE?
It's TNA and WWE, but the only crossover they've done so far is with NXT.
That's
See,
very interesting.
I think they would save Joe Hendry for the Rumble.
I think he'll be
That's
in the
what I
Rumble,
was- I was
but
a-
I think he can make like a. I don't think he'll wrestle. I think he'll make a pop up.
I was about to ask when the Rumble was, just because that seems like the most
That's
likely
what,
time
January?
to.
February this year for the first
Mm.
time since like 1988 or something.
So okay, that's another thing. Speaking of January, what is going on with Cena? Like, I guess theory. What do you guys think is happening with Cena? What's the story going to be? Is he back? And then I guess I need this explained. Is he going to be back like full time? He's on every show.
I think it'll be close to full time. I don't think he'll be every show.
Yeah.
Maybe like every other.
right, but he'll still be there
I think-
predominantly and not doing anything else.
I think what we're gonna see a lot of is if he is on every show, he's not gonna wrestle on every show. It'll be like a backstage thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think what we're gonna see is when in 2015 or 16 he did the U.S. Open Challenge. I think it's just gonna be like the John Cena Open
Yeah.
Challenge, and every week on Raw he'll have some random fucking person come out and fight
some no
someone.
name, bring up new talent.
Yeah, and then maybe 3 or 4 feuds mixed in there.
yeah. Him and
Yeah,
Braun,
that'd
him
be
and Braun
smart.
Breaker would be cool.
I'd love to see Braun Breaker just cut him in half.
I want to see Braun Breaker. Not gonna lie, at first I was saying that I like Sami Zayn, but I think I like Braun Breaker more than I like.
stand Sami Zayn.
I really just don't mind him.
I hate that every single match is the exact same thing, and his story is always he's the underdog,
Yeah.
but he's the champion, so he's not the underdog.
Yeah.
Right.
His facial expressions really bother me, and it takes me out of it.
And his finisher's a big boot.
Yeah, see that? Right.
How
You can't. Yeah, like I'm gonna run. We're gonna give it a stupid name, and I'm just going to run full speed at you, and it doesn't look like I make contact anytime that I do it, but I'm going to win. It doesn't make sense.
How do we feel about Randy Orton and Kevin Owens?
I don't know why I can't get behind Kevin Owens. I just can't. And
I-
maybe it's that he's a face, but like
I
every
really-
time I see him, I'm just like, I don't want this guy on my screen.
Because he never wins.
It's not even that. It's just something about his fucking like he has no character, but he also tries to be stone cold, and like he does a really shitty stunner now, and they keep throwing him in teams. Like I don't care about anything he's done for the past 4 years.
Yeah, it's like they just don't know what to do with him.
When he was with Jericho on Raw as
so
a heel,
good.
and it was like a comedy heel, that was
Yeah.
really good.
Well, and even when they first brought him up from NXT, that was good. When he had the little back and forth with Cena, that was good stuff.
You guys know my opinion on the Viper. I love that guy. I think he's sick. I love his babyface run. I like him. I only remember him from Ruthless Aggression, where he was just John Cena's heel, and that was his character.
That's what it was for a long
or
time.
Yeah.
Evolution, which I didn't really care
Ooh,
much for
I loved
Evolution.
Evolution.
Evolution's cool, but like I don't know.
One of the best theme songs in wrestling.
I just wish that Ric Flair wasn't old, and maybe Batista was cool.
God, I
and
wish Ric Flair wasn't old.
I do. It'd make the 4-man team that much better.
Did you watch his last match?
With Shawn Michaels?
No.
No, the real last match.
The one that happened like 4 months ago or
What
some
the
shit.
fuck?
like
The hell is this guy doing, bro?
who'd he wrestle?
It was him.
Jay
and,
Lethal,
no, it was
right?
him and Jay Lethal versus Jeff Jarrett and someone. I
Yeah,
think.
the
that's right.
hell? The hell is he doing?
Whenever I hear somebody
Not
bring
wrestling.
up the Evolution
bad?
theme song,
Oh, he unironically had a heart attack during the match.
yeah,
Really?
Yeah.
Did they?
No.
Throw up
They,
the
no,
X's?
no, he just they kept the match going. and
Hell
he,
yeah.
He bled,
Woo!
and yeah, it was not a pretty sight.
Woo!
Yeah.
That's terrifying, Ric Flair. Stop drinking.
So whenever I hear the Evolution theme song,
Oh God, it's fucking.
I think
box.
of the stupid fucking Snapchat I sent to Jordan. Like it'd be like 4 years ago now. I'm in traffic by a hospital, and this helicopter is getting ready, like it's life flighting somebody. And immediately in my head, I think, "Oh, this is like the beginning of the Evolution theme song." So I start taking a video, and I'm like, "Evolution in a victory." And if I see a helicopter, immediately I think of that because you just responded. You were like, "What the fuck?" And I'm like, "Dude, tell me it doesn't look like that." In a little bit, you know?
I'm kind of excited to be. Okay, I know we've talked about it a million times on this show and on the Rebel Radio show, but wrestling's cool again, and I like it because John Cena isn't the only guy doing it now. And like when I liked wrestling hardcore, I was just John Cena and like Rey Mysterio, and that was pretty much it. That was all you got
Yeah.
out of me. And now I feel like I'm happy that I get to like, okay, maybe I want to like Dominic Mysterio for a little bit.
Right.
Okay, LA Knight's really cool. Okay, this Joe Hendry guy's fun. Like I want to watch him. I want to, like I get to kind of dive into every storyline more and pick my favorites. And like Randy Orton's cool to me now. And
Right.
I went through a big Triple H phase. I think that he's a cool guy. And
I
when he
think
was
everybody went through a Triple H phase.
he's just sick.
It's like it's pretty fucking cool. Like
He's
just dope.
badass.
He is
He's
the
badass.
game.
Yeah, and it's all about
Lit-
the game.
Literally, unironically, like this morning, Jimmy sent me the interview of Triple H and Jim Ross where he goes, "I am the game."
I don't know if I've ever seen that.
That's a good little interview.
But-
See, I think I lucked out growing up when I did
Mm.
because like I
Back in the late '80s,
I stopped. No, I stopped.
The
I stopped
golden age.
watching
he was watching Ultimate
around
Warrior.
like the Cena era. I stopped. Like I remember when he debuted against Angle,
Oh, so
and
you're
I
saying
was
you
kind of out of it.
Really? So
So-
ruthless aggression was like right. You're falling
That
off. board.
yeah, that's when I kind of dipped out.
Okay.
But like
That's funny because that was like our introduction.
That was
to
our
Mine,
intro?
yeah, so like for
And
me,
then,
like
yeah.
I lucked out because I had Austin and Shawn Michaels and Triple H and
Right.
The Rock and Mick Foley. Like I'm trying to think of it. I had a Triple H shirt. I had a Rock lunchbox. I had numerous Stone Cold shirts. I had a Mick Foley tank top. I'd always get in
That's
trouble
sick.
for wearing at school because it was Mankind. It had his tooth in his nose.
That's sick.
Like little stuff like that. Like
Yeah.
so I couldn't imagine just having like Cena.
Well, yeah, it was. I mean, I think all guys, it's cool to just watch this shit. it's cool to watch big dudes. You don't care if it's that's
Right.
the kayfabe, you know, like we all know. It's cool to just watch it and then like you fizzle off at some point, or like
Yeah.
I stopped watching during the PG era when like I don't know,
Right.
it just kind of declines at some point.
It sucked.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and I think that like even Jake is like I fizzled out in the ruthless aggression era, which is crazy because that's when we started, and for us that's like huge, and you know.
Up until a few years ago, I never had that point. I had watched pretty steadily my whole life. Like,
Right.
And funny enough, I've probably told this story. My first ever introduction to wrestling was at Shane's house.
Wow.
Because he had SmackDown versus Raw 08, and I
I
played
don't
it.
even know, because see, I have like, there are core memories of like trading action figures and stuff like that, but it was just like there were multiple guys who liked that thing, you know. It wasn't like
Right.
just there was a little faction of people that you'd be like, okay, well, he has this and he has this, and his older brother has
Right.
the Jeff Hardy, and I have this Cena, so I have to, you know.
And then something else for me is I had WCW also.
Right.
So-
So I never got into any of the other brands. I didn't even like realize that
dude.
that was
WCW
an angle that I could.
was so fucking good.
I bet Nitro
it
was sick.
man.
I bet Nitro was
It
sick.
was cool. Like
You had Big Papa Pump.
Watching
I had the beat 'em
NWO
up.
like actually happen.
Oh yeah, I had the beat 'em up of Scott Steiner.
That's cool.
I had, which you gave it to me. You had it in its case. The toys that I had as a kid.
Hogan and
Hogan and Goldberg. Yeah, like I had that growing up. But I just remember like, and it sucks that I don't know if you guys got to experience it, but I remember specifically it was like second grade. So that would have been like 2000-ish, right around there.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, like WrestleMania would happen. There was no Twitter. Like we didn't have we had AOL.
Right.
And we had kids AOL, which was stupid. It told you the weather and then you could like IM somebody. That was it. But we're like sitting there at lunch
It
and
gave you literally the most dangerous feature on the
right, isn't it? It's crazy, right? It was like you could play games. Do you want to read
Or
this
talk
book?
to anyone.
Yeah.
Right. But and so like
Mr. Cummings.
It is-
69?
and so like we were in bumfuck nowhere, so we were all kind of pout, so nobody could buy the pay-per-views.
Yeah.
So we're sitting there, you know, and we're like, did you guys hear anything about who might have won?
Yeah.
And that moment where you would just wait. It's 9:00 and you it's gonna take 2 minutes to watch the
Yep.
montage of what happened at WrestleMania 2000 the night before.
Mhm.
You're sitting there and you're
They
like,
don't even do the montage.
right, and you're like, fuck, I hope The Rock's theme plays because that means he beat Triple H. Or
Yeah.
fuck, I hope Triple H theme. And you're just waiting for it, and you hear the theme, and you're like, fuck. And then you see him walk out, and he doesn't have the belt, and you're like, oh shit.
What happened?
No.
Yeah.
And then he gets in the ring, and it's like, that son of a bitch screwed me over. Rock, you asshole. Get out of here. And then, you know, Rock comes out. Like, it was so fucking cool because I just remember, like, sitting there and all day we're just like, so who do you guys think won, though? Like,
yeah, right.
like, but who? Like, do you think they did? Did Vince fuck him over?
Right.
Like,
That's
what happened? It was really cool.
I like. I never watched WrestleMania either. Like I said, this past WrestleMania was the first Mania I've ever watched, and so there was always that allure for us too. But I think a big portion for us was like we would play the video games.
Mhm.
The video games were huge.
Yeah.
Loved playing, and like that's where the early SVR, like those are
Yeah.
core memories, and then like wrestling on like outside on the trampoline or something
Yes.
like that, and then action figures and like the
Yeah.
ring, and you would get ladder and like
You'd
maybe
bring all your action figures to your buddy's house.
Yep.
Mhm. It would
still-
always
I still have all mine.
I do too.
Oh, I wish I
They're,
had mine.
they're hanging out in a box.
I have some of Shane's because we traded action
Hell
figures.
yeah,
shit.
bitch. Hell fucking yeah.
No, I remember very specifically for some reason, like one of the first times that I hung out with Shane outside of school, we had traded a bunch of action figures and shit. And the only one that I can like specifically remember is he had a Paul Bearer that was like way too tall because they used to make them all the same size. So I have this really tall Paul Bearer without a tie.
Is it like Undertaker bear with like the white, or is it
He-
just regular bearer?
It's definitely like came in a 2-pack, I found out, with The Undertaker, but he's in like a blue suit. He was supposed to have a red tie. He has brown hair. So like it's this really weird Paul Bear who's like 6-something foot tall. And I don't know, it's just a really weird toy.
Which,
that he
yeah.
had.
Paul Heyman is kind of another interesting character, and I don't fully understand how he like fits into. Just sidestepping now a little bit, I don't fully understand how he fits in sometimes, and like I understand that he's just supposed to be the on-screen manager for the big brute that doesn't
Becau-
talk, but like where did that idea?
Wait, do you mean Bearer
Or Paul
No,
Heyman?
Heyman.
Oh, you mean Heyman?
Yeah,
Is it
Oh.
our wait?
we sidestepped. Paul Bearer and Paul Heyman are different.
No.
They're not the same person.
No.
The preceding program is a StylesRebelRadio.com production.